bigyan mo na lang ako na what needs to be done. Bigyan mo ako ng...
Ang estimate po namin, initially, na binigay po ng DPWH, 40 million daw po ang kakailanganin.
Bago?
Opo. Hindi po bago eh. Doon din po sa lugar na yun. Mabago na po ba, Governor? So,
iniwanan ng kontraktor. Saan yung kontraktor na? Patayin mo. Bastos yung kontraktor na. Well, anyway, I'll give you the 40 million. Okay, I'll give you the 40 million. Who's in charge here? Ikaw na mayor. I hope you'll put it to good use. That 40 million will bring you something like small, parang clinic, hospital. Hindi naman kayo marami dito. And you would need a transportation that is faster for emergency. What's the fastest that you have? Meron plano. Ang problema kung bad weather. Let's ask the Coast Guard if we can dito makaikot sila. You know, I've been flying to the area where there was this epicenter. Baka, yun. But there are two islands there that are big ones. Sabi ko kay Mayor, is it ours? I do not see any. Buta pa siguro lagyan mo ng or sort of a symbolic. Sayang eh. Agawan ngayon eh. Nakawan ngayon ng lupa. Buta. Nag-umpisa na incheck. So, puro incheck to. Taiwan eh. Meron pa tayong how many islands doon? Then you better and we have we just got we acquired some sort of the fast boats. You might want to ask the Coast Guard to si dito, mag-standby lang. Palit-palit lang to patrol the islands from time to time. Not every day, but just to assure that those islands will remain out. Kasi mahirap na ngayon. Kung nakawa natin ang China, baka upakan tayo doon ng mga mission na hindi natin kaya. But as much as possible, I'd like to that is one of the, well, kaming lahat, workers of government tayo, we're supposed to preserve the Republic of the Philippines. And whatever is ours should be very clear to everybody that it is ours. If we are no longer ready to go into that style again of the way China did it. It was not really something that we gave freely. Suddenly, they just, after that impasse there, when they retreated, yung barko, yung sila Albert, they went just to occupy the whole of, then started those buildings, which we were forewarned several times by satellites and everything, and all the powers that were chargeable with that knowledge. And America was even the first to scare us with what was brewing there. And, nobody did nothing. We did our part. Yun na naman talaga ang kaya natin is to seek peaceful means. and that is go to an arbitral tribunal. We lost, and pero nandoon na sila. When we talk of reality, we talk of control, not even possession. Who is in control of that body of water? If it is not us, there's no amount of rhetorics there about going anywhere and protecting. If you are not in control, you cannot protect what is not ours, because they are protecting it under the claim of ownership also. Yan ang mahirap. So, huwag na natin habain yung salita itong mga as if kung sila dito, kung kaya nila. Ganon. If you are not in control of the property, if it is yours, so you claim, but it is also taken by force from you under also a claim of ownership, that mothers up everything. Because then, he is not only getting something from you, he's trying to recover in his mind something which is his. Yan ang problema dyan ngayon. That makes it, it's not a question of a wrongful possession or an acquisition or acquisition of a piece of land. It's a group of land which was ours by entitlements sovereignty. But definitely, it is not within our territorial. We have sovereign entitlements binigay sa atin. But to claim it as a sovereign, it's not. Some of us are, itong mga are pulling our chair. We do. It's not an invasion of a sovereign land or territory. It is the entitlement of that was given to us by virtue of the exclusive economic zone. That iba yun. Iba yun. Pagdating natin sa korte, matatamaan tayo if we claim ownership by virtue of sovereignty. Lahat ng abogado dito would tell you that we have the. It's not. But there are certain entitlements there by virtue of our being given that exclusive economic zone. So in a way, because it was given to a country, which we all remember, so it gives us some entitlement to the area. But you cannot claim sovereignty there. That would be a very mali na that piece written by Coast Guard ba yun? Somebody in Congress, is a briefer. He wrote it very simply. Then mas mabasa mo, ma-understand mo. He's right. He's just a Coast Guard, but he's brighter than itong sila Carpio, pati ito si Albert. Ang bugok. They're pushing us to the limits which we are not. Because before ganito yan, before the countries grew, before the countries were known as United States of America or China or the Philippines or Indonesia for that matter, historically may mga tao na dito. Yung mga tao na nakatira dito, even in small number, humanity occupied coastal lands. Their citizenship was not known at the time. So yan sila would be dependent on the seas for their upkeep and livelihood. Now, certainly, with the birth of the nations, itong mga human settlements must be entitled to the historical fishing rights. Ibig sabihin, bago ito naging Republic of the Philippines by the Spaniards, by the Americans, meron na nakatira dito mga Pilipino, hindi sila tawag Pilipino, ngayon yan ngayon sa China. So, China has to give that. Pero ako naman, under the claim of ownership, ako sabi ko, sige, bigyan ko rin kayo. Because we are claiming. So I cannot say, please give us. No. Sinabi ko, I will give you, but you give me also. Kasi they were driving the fishermen out doon sa Spratly. So nagkagulo. That's why I went there. But when I said that, sige, I will, okay, I'll grant you fishing rights. Just on the pretext, although vainly, in vain, because sila naman, but diplomatic talkatives, ganun ang ginawa ko. Sabi ko, you are driving my fishermen out of the, historically, even before China became Red China, those fishermen, Filipino fishermen were there already. So we are invoking the traditional fishing rights, which China must give because it is part of that arbitrary ruling. Hindi lang nila tinignan ng mabuti. Ako naman, because I was, wala akong magawa. They have the control. That happened when yung pinaretreat ni Albert, yung Raha Suliman. Nung nag-retreat ang Sarah Suliman, pumasok lahat ang mga barko, pero ang ginamit nila ang white. Hindi sila nagpadala ng gray ships. Hindi sila nagpadala ng warships. Only Coast Guard, mga white ship. Yun ang gambit nila doon. So dito, bantayan ninyo yan. They were talking about earthquakes. Do not ever, ayan, I will not surrender even one can of Milo there. One can of earth, hindi ako papayag. Especially mining or shores of itong there's a component in the sun, black sun. Kaya sabi ko, I need to patrol the area once in a while. For all I know, doon ako, tapos nakatalikod tayo lahat, they're already mining at the back. Of course, this is not to belittle the event today, but just the same, I am really not in the mood of just giving our territory because of what happened in this West Philippines. Nahirapan tayo ngayon dyan. At this time, if we insist, it could only mean war. And we are not prepared. We will not win a war with China. Sirain muna siya ng ibang, there might be a war. If he's defeated, ganun lang ang buhay. Sabi nga nila, bubong-bulong ang palad. Wala pa naman yan sila noon. Then, they were born. Then again, other cataclysmic thing, maybe it will be vacant again. Then we'll go back to claim what is ours. But for me to go there and start to take a very pugnacious palaaway or a very hostile attitude would only give us nothing but sorrow. But we have to guard that. I want some of them to tell strategic points where we can see each other's territory na hindi natutuwa. And I'd like the military to handle that. Maybe the Marines, because Marines naman are you are known to endure loneliness. Do not worry, I will visit you. Really, I will visit you. Except for that goddamn Rocos there. Kasi pag you go either as a leader there, there's going to be a Rocos. Pagka leader ka, pumunta ka ng foreign island, which is claiming by you have to, there is a protocol. Then if you go there, na parang walang permiso, then you are claiming it, just like what Indonesia did. Pero mas malayo yung kanila. But they are now protecting the islands. Yung sinabi ko sa iyo din na yung maliliit dyan sa Spratly, hinuha pa natin. Diyan ko ilagay yung mga squatter, tigas ulo. Yung sirain mo na, tapos balik na naman, magagalit sa simato niya. Hindi niya malinis yung... Pero, alam mo, this thing, the islands there, I was flying almost, hindi naman cry, but I was felt with a deep sentiment for my country. Magaganda ang naiwan ng tignan ninyo maya, pag-take off. Huwag mo lang, piloto, kung sabihin mo kung sumali, baka may mga clip pa dyan na malalaki. Maganda. We might want to just make a 380. Magaganda. We will preserve that. I told the mayor, wala siyang problema dito. Hindi ko ba wala kang druga, kriminal, food upper, wala rin. The Marines and the police will see to it that that is maintained. You are talking to the wrong woman. Basta yan kung inapunta dito, magtago ng droga, ilang bang, dito? Totoo. Ang order ko is, tapon mo doon sa bandang Taipei na, sa boundary. Just do it, akong bahala. Basta yung bad boys. That's the last thing that you should allow. Ganda ng lugar mo. Maintain. Ganda na maghingi na masyadong improvement. Rather, kung ako, habaan natin because of my emergency. And the one that also. Or, isa pa din, patingnan mo nga nasa, andiyaman yung mga rin. Ito airport dito, patakasan natin. It's very critical itong, if you look at the geopolitics, andyan yung Taiwan, nandito tayo. Tayo ang choke point. It cannot be on the side of Taiwan and makalaban sila ng China. We are the only ones who can provide a choke point kasi kontrolado natin ito. Hindi matakot mo yung Taiwan sa atin. So dito, it could be a choke point for other. Madala na tayo. So we have to admit that naisahan tayo doon. Wala man tayo magawa. That's how it was developed. There were intelligence report na doon na inayaan. Kaya sa galit ko sa Amerika, sabi ko, sige, i-parking mo yung lahat ng 7th Fleet mo. I-parking ko lahat ng Navy ko, pati yung ginagamit sa bangka dyan sa ulo. Tapos ako ang Ako ang tignan natin kung sino talagang wala tayo. So, gano'n. Talk too much. Role, ang ano ba, okay? Are you operating here already?
Yes, sir.
Rolly is Rolly Bautista. Used to be the army. Puro man ito sila military ang cabinet ko. Ako lang ma'am ang civilian. Pati yung mga ano ko, mga pulis. Yan silang mauna kung magpulita sila ng huli sa akin. All of them actually are military men. Ex. Itong sibilyo ang hindi. Ito yung bugado ng komunista.
Sir, actually, since yesterday after the meeting, coordination meeting at Mindanao, immediately our field office too have already repositioned food and non-food items. And beside that, we have already a standby stockpiles in Itbayat. And this afternoon, another food items were brought in to Itbayat using the quotas. At least, Mr. President, I assure the good governor here that there's a lot of relief items, food packs on standby, and
Enough to meet
yes,
the challenges.
yes. At the same time, we have also cash assistance for protective services, and also assistance for damages of houses, both fully damaged and partially damaged. So as a whole, we will coordinate with the availability of air and water assets so that we can push forward the standby items in Itbayat.
How about them, the Rosario? Have you made some studies?
Yes, sir.
Conduct the ocular inspection, and how do you think we will do it?
Sir, actually, our intervention in the immediate housing assistance, we can immediately provide 30,000 for each totally damaged houses and 20,000 for partially damaged. Then this can be done within the week, Mr. President.
Yung damage?
Sir, at the moment, only 15 houses were totally damaged. But per report by the governor, we were told earlier that there may be more partially damaged houses. But nevertheless, sir, 30,000 from the housing and 30,000 from the SWD for totally damaged, for a total of 60,000. And then for partially damaged, 20 from housing and 10 from the SWD. So we can immediately provide within the week, sir, that assistance.
Okay. Diyan, Anya, wala naman siguro.
Yes, sir. Just like I said a while ago, sir, kanina, despite of this unfortunate incident, but I would like to commend the LGUs, particularly the provincial government under Governor Marilo Cayco and Mayor Raul Disagon for immediately acting and leading the response. They are able to immediately convene the local DRRMC and designated an emergency operations center. But we have seen some gaps, like for example, most of the houses were actually Spanish era na lumang construction, and they did not follow the building code. So aside from the 15 houses, probably some of those houses will not be livable anymore. We have to assess the structural integrity and ensure that the building code will be followed. So probably from the NHA, kung magsusupport sila, and DSWD, the PWH, siguro po yung nandun naman na sila, yung talagang mga gagawing bahay doon will follow the building code. And then now we also see the need for the construction of a big evacuation center. Kasi bukod sa ito yung dinadaanan ng bagyo, but with this recent earthquake threat, kailangan po meron talagang evacuation center. At saka yung extension ng airport doon, because this is the northern part of our territory. So it's not only for disaster response, but for national security.
Northernmost.
Yes, sir.
It's the northern.
So yun na po, Mr. President.
I'm interested on the project of extending both the runways for national security reasons. It could be a very crucial factor in the days to come. Not in our generation, but alay mo, it would be good to be prepared so that if you have to defend those islands there, you have to have a launching deck somewhere here. So, let me just ask you, ito ba, Ed, when you try to reconstruct, would you be using the same material? Yung lime, yung bato na?
So it should be in accordance with the building code that it can withstand 7.2 magnitude earthquake and 250 km per hour.
And that
Mr.
could
President.
be mga hollow blocks na with bricks.
Yes, sir. But the key, sir, is the making a strong foundation. So the houses now do not have any steel because they were constructed more than 5 decades ago. So kailangan set talaga dito observance of the building code. Ibig sabihin nakita nating mga classrooms, kung ginawa yun in accordance with the building code, dapat yung 1-2-story building hindi siya na-apektuhan.
Well, it was the culture of the time. I mean, I can even not only accept but forgive. Well, those were the things that were available to them maybe 5 decades ago. So, about time that we will do our part. We are the generation that's given the chance to maybe give the life-changing things here. Kung ano, meron pa naman siguro kami, I can give you the 40 million, what's that for? Oh. We are, if there's somebody that'd like to say a piece, yes, we're running out of the sunlight.
Actually, before you arrived, we had already a meeting with all the staff. Alam ka ni
Do I have a copy of that?
Gobernador at saka ni Congressman kung ano yung mga interventions na gagawin ng each one of us. It was presided by the courts, Secretary Bello. Now, you mentioned a while ago, sir, about sustaining the supply here, supply line. The AFP is actually positioning gasolina rito para sa aircraft natin because they will commit the following transport here: 1C-130, 2C-295, 1N212I, 1F-27 para sa pag-transport ng mga goods from Manila. Yun naman dito, papunta-punta dun sa Bayat, 1 Sokol, 1 AW-109 ng Philippine Navy, at saka 1 is-76 yung rescue. So, in a couple of days, Mr. President, dito na lahat sila, they can support the rehabilitation of Bayat. Yung namang pag-transport ng mga materials, because it will be coming from the mainland, gagamitin natin yung ating malaking Philippine Navy ships to transport the equipment to Bayat.
Malapit lang na. But what about, I'm asking you, what about the wharf, the quay, yung pantalan dyan? Do you think we need to improve on it? Ito na lang, ma'am.
Kanina po sa meeting namin, nabanggit ko po kay Assistant Secretary ng DOTR na humihingi sana ako ng tulong para magkaroon po kami ng safe na port sa Itbayat. Maglagay lang po sa Maoyun Port ng breakwater po. Tapos po, kanina rin ho humihingi rin ako ng tulong kay DOTR para makilala ko po si PPA manager po para humagawa din po yung plan po sa breakwater po namin dito sa Basco po. Kasi sir, nakahingi na po ako ng 180 million Pero sir, nasama ko dun sa nabito niyo po. Kaya po sabi ko sabi ko ng DOTR, humingi ka uli, Governor, pero gawa ka na ng plano. Tinulungan po ako ni Sir Bongo po doon.
Dalawa yun kami. Yung sa security of tenure. Yung sa security of tenure, dapat sinunod nila yung usapan. Do not make it hard for the capitalists also to move. The tenure is something which is, may apat eh. Sana yung bot? Regular, seasonal, provisional, project-based, pati yung, meron lang akong isingit doon, para tabla naman po, na, you know, alam mo kasi ganito yan eh. Kung kunin ko yan, malakas yung labor front doon. So, pasok sila ng pasok. Walang problema yung Pilipino eh. But the fact is, kung itong tao na ito is indolent, tamad, hindi marunong, at saka mayroon talagang walang IQ, then you are now saddled with one or two employees. Tanggalin mo, you will go to the arbiter, as NLRC. Then, they will be facing cases. Instead of helping his fellow men, siya na tumaka-problema. And this has happened many times also. We have to, yun lang ang ano ko doon. At some other, hindi mo nasunod yung unang sabot talaga kasi nakita ko yung working papers ng NEDA, binasa ko. I think that it is not to a T. Yung sakto talaga na I might resubmit it, but let me just introduce something which would level of the pipilitin mo na pangit naman kasi trabaho, may tamad, may gano'n eh, absinero. Then pag pinalis mo, punta ng LRC, go back to work. Hindi maganda. The security of tenure should also provide the security of the capital. It should not be na kasi mahirap sila, bigyan sila ng ano ito, demokrasya, diretso, tabla. Tabla talaga ang the pressure group there inside working, the unions and yung may-ari cannot be the own pressure to manage and negotiate. Alam mo niya, sinabi ko hindi ko pwede. It's not fair to, even if he's a millionaire, even if he's Lusultan, fair is fair. So, para wala nga. Don't make it a burden para sa akin to, I can help my fellow man, but do not make it a burden on me. Parang huwag mong ibigay sa akin yung to correct a behavior na gano'n. Sino ba na ayaw magsildo ng tao na the one who is productive, one who is very punctual, hardworking. Ano lang natin today? So dito naman sa may kunting ano lang ako doon, ma'am, sa Congress. Congress man ang we will retrace your what? We will retrace where your money went. Magic. Magic na. Kaya ko binito yun eh. Mahirap to. I will be. Ganito ko yun. The next project. Ilagay ko yung pantalan mo, pati yung airport. And I can assure you, hindi ako yung, I will assure you that we will divide the resources of the country fairly. Lahat Ilocano, wala akong ano dyan. Ay, ako mga cabinet members mo, puro Ilocano. Halos, so, totoo. Totoo. Dula, ito, Bebot, kasama ko na Dormitorio sa Law School. Bebot, pati si Gulay, yan yung mga yan. Ito si Dilpin, siya yung nagdala ng 2nd Regiment sa Davao. Rolly naman was there, naging task force Davao. John Anyo was, isang beses lang kami nakita, but napabilib niya ako. Ito kasi siya yung pareho yan sila ni Rolly pati siya, nagdaan yan. Doon ko lang yan sila nakilala. Diyan Madrigal. Doon ko lang sila nakilala during their tour. Matagal ako mayor, 23 years eh. Kaya dumaan talaga yan sila sa akin. So, nagkaibigan kami. Okay naman.